Options in the middle. And will it be the leveller?
Well, I don't think they've been at it today, but maybe, just maybe, that...
Wonderful chance! Well, let's see what they have in store for them on the break. Lemoyne. Firing it in. Well, no problems defensively. Opportunity! And a throw-in coming up. Good pressure to win the ball back high up the pitch. And just has to remain calm. Oh, wonder goal! Key. The Magpies pushing forward with options available. Can they convert? And it goes!
Today I have for y'all a pretty crazy cam build in pro clubs. It is 6'7", 253 pounds. Very big. Max height, max weight. I had one of y'all in my comments request a cam build like this, a big one. He said it's pretty glitchy, so I tried it out. I was interested. As y'all know, I love using bigger builds. I've made a few max height, max weight builds in different positions, so I thought I'd try a cam. And one thing that I found very interesting is that cams have very good physicals, even better than strikers. So when you go max height, max weight as a cam, at least when it comes to strength, I don't think jumping necessarily, but when it comes to strength, cams have a lot of it. So we already have phenomenal strength in this build, going 6'7", 253 pounds. And then we got a bunch of other great attributes spread around on the build. So let's get started. Make sure this build is in the cam position, 6'7", 253. Doesn't matter really what foot, it's up to you, whatever you prefer. Let's take a look at the perks. The first one is active first touch. And the reason I went for this is because it boosts your acceleration and sprint speed when running into a through ball and behind, or when you get a ball played to you like in the midfield or something, and then you just try and dribble or sprint after that. It'll kick in for a short duration. And since this build is so big, we lose pace, we lose agility, so it's just not as elusive, so we need this perk. It'll also increase the ball control and grant you the flare trait for your first touch, so you can do like fancy one-time passes, flicks, shots, touches with the flare trait on active first touch. So that's the first perk. The second and third perks, I decided to go for the two passing perks, precision and threaded pass. Both of these will give you 5-star weak foot. So for these types of passes, you won't have to worry about what foot you're hitting the ball with, as well as flare trait, so you can do fancy passes, and then the swerve trait, which is very clutch. And both of them will just increase the overall accuracy and just improve your passes in general. This one will increase the short and long pass, while threaded pass will increase your vision, which will help for through balls. And you could switch out one of these if you prefer, like taking off precision pass. This is probably what I would do if I wanted to take one off. I would take off precision pass, go like distant shooter if I wanted to make some long shots. Skilled dribbler would be decent. Tireless runner if you want the stamina. Physical strength. Some of y'all are probably wondering why didn't you go for physical strength since this build is so big? Just want to increase it more. Well, cams, which I'm about to show you guys once we go to the physical page, have so much strength that I decided to not go for physical strength. But you're about to see, you can still go for physical strength if you want, if you don't want precision pass. But these are the three perks that I use. Feel free to switch up precision pass or threaded pass if you want. I do think active first touch is important for this build. Let's look at the skill tree. As I was saying, this cam build has amazing strength. It is at 90, and I didn't even go for the bull archetype. If I did, we would have 97. For some reason, cams have insane strength in pro clubs this year. So I decided not to go for the physical strength perk and not the bull archetype. 90 is already good enough, and then we can save these 10 skill points to put somewhere else on the build. So what you're going to do on this left side is just go down, get this strength and stamina right here. That's what will get you to 90, and then we get this +5 reactions for 3 skill points to bump it up to 91. And then on the top right, some stamina, 83 stamina on this build. Another bonus of being tall is, it's either a tall or weight or both. We have 83 stamina, which is pretty good for a cam, and you really don't even need second wind for this cam build unless you're really trying to run around and help out on defense with this build, or play in the midfield, I guess, then you might want it. So 91 reactions, 90 strength, 83 stamina are the best physical stats, and cams don't have great jumping or aggression. So if you did want to go for the physical strength perk on this build, it could be nice to increase the jumping and then basically get like max strength, like 99 strength. That would be good, but this build, cams just don't have great heading accuracy. I think it's something in the 50s. I don't know why they do that. Even though this build is very big, the heading is pretty unreliable, but we did score some headers with this build despite the heading actually being very bad and the jumping not being that great, just because the build is so big. Sometimes it'll just always be good in the air. So you can win some headers, win those 50-50s in the middle of the field, help out on defense, clear out some corners. You can definitely win the majority of those 50-50 battles with this build. That's the physical page. Let's take a look at dribbling. And because this build is so strong, we were able to avoid the bull archetype and use those 10 skill points on the maestro archetype, which will upgrade our dribbling. We'll get max dribbling stat of 97, and then we'll have 89 ball control. I didn't upgrade the ball control anymore. You could go down the right side here and then even out the ball control and dribbling, but it's better to max out the dribbling. 89 ball control is already pretty good, but this build has the active first touch perk on it. So if you're using that perk, it says it'll upgrade the ball control and it'll make it closer to this dribbling stat. So the ball control is actually higher than what you see. And then on the right side, of course, I went for the 5-star skills. Feel free, if you don't want them, you could take them off, use those 5 skill points anywhere else on the build you'd like. You could upgrade the ball control like this, upgrade the balance, upgrade the shooting, pace, physicals, more really up to you what you want to do with those 5 skill points. But then I made sure to get the Lynx archetype, and then I decided to get this +2 agility. You could also get this +3 balance, but I really wanted to get that agility over 80. 79 is pretty low, and of course 81 agility, 81 balance, especially the agility, is not that great. I wish it could be higher, but that's what you have to deal with when you go for such a big cam build like this one, which is definitely different, and I've never tried a cam build like this in pro clubs this year. Let's look at passing. There is no skill points here. I mentioned this earlier, but cams already have pretty good base passing stats, so I didn't allocate any skill points here. But we have 87 crossing. I don't know why it's so good as a tall cam. 87 crossing is the best stat. 76 vision, 80 long pass, 83 short pass, and 79 curve. But remember, this build's got precision pass and threaded pass. So pretty much all these stats when it comes to passing ability will be upgraded because of those 2 perks. So the passing ability isn't a problem. We don't need to add skill points here. The passing is very good just because of those 2 perks. Let's look at shooting. Some of y'all might be surprised with how crazy these shooting stats are, but going 6'7", 253 pounds as a cam really improves your shooting stats, improves your finishing, your shot power. Not too sure about long shots or volleys, but definitely the finishing and shot power quite a bit, going taller and wider. So 93 finishing, 85 shot power, 91 long shots, and 87 volleys. And we don't have a whole lot of skill points here. I went for these 12 skill points right here to get the finishing of volleys and long shots and shot power. Got the 4-star weak foot on this build, and then I wanted to upgrade the shot power more. Then it'll also give us +5 free kick accuracy at 92, so maybe you can score some free kicks. And I did take the corners with this build. It is a huge build, but we a lot of times have a center back playing with us. The heading, as you can see, is at 59. It is not good, not reliable, so I'd rather just take like the set pieces and corners with the good passing stats, free kick accuracy, and get some assist with this cam build instead of making this more of an aerial threat build, because it is not. Do not try and score a ton of headers with this build. You'd have a lot more success being a striker, but these stats are pretty similar to a striker and probably better than a lot of striker builds that you have used. Because we're just so big, the upgrade in shot power and finishing is very helpful. So this build is absolutely deadly in the box. It's almost like a striker build basically because of the crazy physical stats, or the strength at least. and then the shooting, but you can play make and have pretty good dribbling ability. Let's take a look at pace. Of course, one of the downsides of this build is the pace, 83 acceleration and 87 sprint speed. I left off this +2 sprint speed. I felt like those skill points were more important somewhere else on the build. If you want, you could get that +2 sprint speed to get the max pace, but I don't think it's necessary. Not going to tell much of a difference. 87 sprint speed isn't terrible for how big this build is. So once you get up to pace, it's not that bad. You have the 90 strength. You can body people, shoulder people off of you if they come up next to you. It's really just the low acceleration in combination with the lowish agility of 81. But this build is very fun to use. If you want to try something different, give this a try. The playmaking ability is nice with the passing perks. It's different with the crazy strength and amazing shooting stats, like striker-esque shooting stats as a big cam. So it's actually a very well-rounded cam build. The dribbling is great. We have the Maestro and the links. It's really just the agility kind of letting this build down mostly. But give it a try. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Hit that like button on this video for me, and then hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't already. As always, y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.